Hello,
Yeah,
good morning.
morning.
Thank you for having us.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It is a pleasure on my part as much as anything else. How's your day going so far? I guess it's just getting started, right?
Yeah.
The morning coffee hasn't kicked in yet, so day hasn't started officially.
Yeah.
Got any big plans today?
Gym. It's my weekend, so I got gym training
Yeah.
to catch up on and a little celebration. I just got given a permanency at the school I work at, so they can't fire me anymore,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Congratulations. Amazing.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah. What am I up to today? I've got
First day
lunch.
of 27, isn't it?
Yeah, first official day is being 27 years old, which is nice. And I've got lunch with my mum.
Nice. Wholesome.
That is lovely, lovely. So your
Yeah.
birthday's today or the day yesterday?
Yesterday.
Happy birthday for yesterday then. You're so
Thank you. Yeah, I know.
I'm 37, so I've got 10 years on you.
Oh, fantastic.
That's still young, right?
Yeah.
It's still in the age group of young.
Yeah, young at heart and all that, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, gents, congratulations on the release of the new EP, Mosaic. I have to ask how you're feeling and how so far, bear in mind, it's very early days. How have you found the response so far?
Pretty good. Like everyone's loving it so far, which has been very validating.
Yeah, it's been very nice. Like all the comments on it that have come up have been incredibly positive. Like yourself included. We really loved the review you did the other day. Pale Blood is weirdly the low fly that everyone's slowly starting to be like, that's the song.
I had a feeling it would be.
Yeah. I'm using it as a unit of measurement to travel distance in the car. Like how many times through that song does it take me to get to someone's house?
It was 3 here, wasn't it?
3 here. 3
Yeah.
Pale Bloods to your house.
Excellent.
Why that song, do you think, in specifically?
I think it's
like not only I think the reference to Bloodborne, which is a universally loved game, but also I don't know. I think it's very much like
it's got that old school like post rock, post grunge vibe.
Yeah,
I think most people have the soft spot for growing up.
Yeah,
that probably on Triple M or something like the main radio station over here.
I think it plays a lot to our strengths as well. Like not only with like the dynamics of Liam, who's our lead guitarist, like he's a freak and he's like done it so well. And then like our complementing vocals as well. You were doing mostly cleans and I think I only do screams in that song as well. So I think playing to our strengths and really putting our best foot forward on that and like giving the suspense around not releasing it as a single as well. So we knew, like I had a feeling it was going to be one of the more popular ones. And
it's the one my mum likes. And mum does not like Screamo.
No. So if someone's mum can like it, anyone can love it.
That's an interesting barometer because some would argue that if your mother likes it, then you're doing something wrong.
No, she heard it and it was funny. I did like a little proud moment. I was like, Mom, you got to listen to this. I sat my family down, put it on the giant speakers. It was like TMS. I was like, there's a lot of screaming. It's catchy, but it's a lot of screaming. Gogglehead. Mom's like, it's cool. It reminds me of Fall Out Boy and Green Day. Like her understanding of what pop punk is. And like, that's cool. And we get to Pale Blood and she's like, I like this one. I don't know why, but I like this one. I'm okay with the screams in this one.
Yeah. No, I showed my brother the songs and he's like, this one's really good. And I was like, oh, well, that means something.
My brother likes Somewhat of a Scientist because it reminds him of a country song and he's a big country bumpkin.
Right.
So he's like, I could play this at a rodeo if I wanted to. I'm like,
it's like it's like a compliment, like half compliment, half insult.
I liked it.
It sounds like you're still feeling quite enthusiastic about it because obviously at this stage, when you've effectively lived with these tracks for such a probably lengthy period of time, listening to them over and over again, working on them and readjusting things, there's a sense that you could potentially get sick of hearing them for a while until it's released and you get to play them live and it reinvigorates them. But you still seem quite really enthusiastic about your music.
Yeah, I think it was also Liam. Because I was going around showing people the tracks as soon as we got the master versions back.
Yeah, we were, both Joe and I were being naughty. We kept leaking it.
Yeah. And it was like, show them a bit of a song and like the singles that we're releasing. But like, you can't keep going around showing people. It's like, well, maybe you should show up.
One of my mates held me to ransom. He's like, if you're not nice to me this weekend, Andrew, I will leak the thing. I was like, you won't.
Oh, it's like going back in time. It'll pop up in LimeWire or something and have to download it.
Yeah.
with the virus behind it.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
virus do you think would be on one of our songs on LimeWire?
Oh God, I don't even know.
I hope it just like has like a little pirate that dances in the corner of your screen. Like,
I think
and you
that's
can't get rid of it.
Yeah, it's the most wholesome virus there is. Like you cannot get rid of it,
But it's
just
there.
constantly there, no matter what screen you're on.
Anyway.
What do you guys value more then? Bear in mind, of course, there's not been a ton of responses because it's still early days, but as they come in, what do you value more? The kind of press reviews you get, so websites, magazines, and so on, or the feedback that you get from your fans, so your comments and just general chatter on social media, or are they equally important to you?
I think a nice blend of both
Yeah.
is pretty good. Like obviously reviews help a lot in the sense of like getting yourself out there and stuff, but also like I love getting feedback from people being like, this is really good, you guys have done so well, you're progressing so much, and that's like very heartwarming to hear all the time.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. We were a bit worried that people were going to be confused, like with how sonically, I guess, diverse it is. It's not super diverse, but it is. It's like pop punk into like emo counterparts, screamo into like everyone keeps calling it like an Incubus meets Hoobastank kind of rock thing for Pale Blood. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But everyone's been like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we were terrified, like people are going to be like, no, this is weird. But like you yourself in your review and a bunch of our mates like, this rules. It's different. It keeps me entertained. We love it.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, when you came my way, there was a one-word description for you that which I don't really get, and I think I've got a pretty good handle on genres and stuff like that. But easycore is something I really can't quite get my head around.
It's just pop punk that's super influenced by hardcore and metal.
Yeah,
it's energetic. It's got the breakdowns. It's got the yells. It's someone that grew up with Green Day and Metallica and couldn't decide between the two.
Yeah,
it's like a really bad way of describing it.
I think my favorite description of our genre was hardcore party punk.
Yeah, we getting called party hardcore by this one dude. He's like, you guys are partycore. I'm like, all right,
we'll take it.
That's fine.
It's like back in like early 2010s when everyone had their own genre, like Pisserville had Mexicore.
Yep.
Grizzlycore.
Joey
Core.
I'll take Joey Core.
Keep something like that in the back, so you later on further down the line, when you're super successful, you can then copyright that shit and run away with the money on that front. I get it though, guys, because ultimately Grizzlyshark does have a very unique sound, one that is hard to categorize into genres, and as much as we don't want to, everything's got a slot somewhere, if even just for descriptive terms. But it's important for you guys to not only just challenge yourselves when it comes to what you do and a blend of genres that you bring to the table, but also the fans. So someone that's coming to listen to you, maybe for the first time, even if it's just a single, can't quite get a bead on exactly who you are and potentially has to continue to listen on.
It was we were really decisive with which singles we put forward first, because obviously if we start with like a blatantly pop punk one, it's confusing if we follow it up then with like, here's an emo metalcore post-hardcore callback to 2010.
Fair.
So that's why we went with TMS. It's like, this feels like the middle ground song. It's a bit poppy, it's a bit heavy, it's very emo and sad boy music.
Yeah, like that early 2010s vibe. Like
you
said. We could definitely cash in on that eventually.
Yeah, so it's a challenge trying to figure out what goes where, but we like it. We like writing what we write. I think we get bored if we wrote the same genre.
Oh, absolutely.
I would get bored lyrically. I find it boxed in, like pop punk's fun to write lyrically, but then it's like, no, I can't write about like Bloodborne in a pop punk song. I can't write about some of this hectic stuff in a pop punk song and it work. And then Liam will be like, I've been listening to like Dance Gavin Dance. Here's a Swan Call riff.
Yeah.
And then we'll write that and put a Grizzlyshark take on it.
Or like literally when we're doing TMS.
It was like
do you know the story behind TMS? Like the name TMS?
Elaborate. I may do, but I don't. Can't quite remember now.
So everyone had their own theory. It was
it was weirdly they thought we were being very naughty about the name.
Everyone kept thinking it was like too much sex or like
something along that line, and it was tiny moving sharks.
Yeah, because Liam had been listening to a bunch of tiny moving parts, and because of the Grizzly Shark, we decided to call it Tiny Moving Sharks.
And then he came back with the Midwestern riff, and we're like, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And it was fantastic.
Awesome. I think people's minds just ultimately go there when they see an abbreviation and presume it's going to be something naughty, hence why you abbreviated it.
Yeah. It's good fun.
Well, take me back to the early days of the formation of Mosaic. What did your original vision look like? And how close to that vision is the final thing?
I don't think there was a vision. It was, here's a collection of songs we should record as an EP.
Yeah, I
and
think
then
we
that changed a million times.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with something like kind of like individual and unique, but eventually we landed on Mosaic because a lot of the singles on this are quite different from each other. Like you've got TMS, which is like our riffy kind of, how would you describe it? It's like
it's the big boy. It's the main boy.
It's the main boy. And then What's the Plan? Gogglehead is very much leaning into more that easycore vibe. And then There's No I in Quarantine is that moody hardcore.
It's the callback to the post-hardcore.
Yeah. And then Pale Blood is just
When I Get My Way.
When
I'm
you get
allowed
your way,
to
when
put
you're
songs
allowed
on
to do
things.
whatever you want.
Yes.
And then on Something of a Scientist, it's just blatant Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 vibes. So yeah, and then we eventually like landed on Mosaic because it is like a collection of different things coming together to create one big image. So yeah, it worked out really well for us.
So you never really had a plan back then. It was just let's see what works for us, and then did you even have like a sort of set? All right, we want it to be 4 tracks, 5 tracks, 6 tracks, and so on.
We came from like releasing nothing but singles, where it's just like the one song. The plan is entirely based on this one song.
Well, our first release, which was like two singles,
like, but even then, that was just like, here's 2 songs.
Yeah.
But I think it's been a learning curve because as we went through, we're like, what is our plan? What are we doing with this? And so for whenever we do whatever's next, it's probably going to be a lot more planning that we've learned to do through this.
Yeah. And we're not sure what our next plan is going to be. Like,
no.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing tomorrow.
But we're very, very good at coming up with things at the last minute and just running with it. It's become a skill.
Was there anything particularly different when you were now focusing on an EP rather than just a collection of singles? Was there anything that was different this time round when it came to writing and recording?
Making sure things were somewhat cohesive. I think some of our other singles were, if you put them on this EP with the other songs, they fit a little, but not really. And this one, we're like, okay, this song is on an EP with a bunch of other songs. It can't be, insanely left to field. Otherwise, it's going to stick out like an absolute sore thumb.
Yeah.
And trying to tie everything together thematically with lyrics was like, it was like having that in the back of my head as we wrote. So I can't go totally stupid. It's like 5 songs. I can't have anything too wild or too silly if it's following a song that's really emotionally heavy. It was interesting. It was a learning process.
Really was.
Was there anything where you surprised yourselves that, e.g., something that you never even considered or something you didn't think you were going to be particularly be able to do strong, that you found, wow, we were able to do this as a unit? When it came to this EP,
hit the high notes in TMS.
Oh my god.
Okay.
There's a lot of high notes, and originally I was just like screeching it, and I was like, that sounds all right. And our producer goes, that sounds crap. Get better.
Let's do it again.
Go practice.
Yeah.
And now I've been practicing my butt off. I can do it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because I've just been lazy with it.
And then Pale Blood as well was a bit of a pain as well.
Yeah. It's like we realized there's like this one or 2 notes in my register between mixed chest voice and mixed voice, which neither register can get. So one of the notes in Pale Blood is in that register.
Yeah. So
I had to figure out a way to kind of cheat it. So we figured it out. We figured it out, and it sounds really cool live, which will be cool for people to see how we do that live. We're excited to show people that.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, studio and live, two very different.
Yeah. Like I can sit there a million times and warm up to the studio. Live, I gotta get it or go home.
Yeah.
How much an influence then, because it always is the elephant in the room these days, how much of an influence has the pandemic period had, not just on Grizzlyshark, but the creation of Mosaic.
Oh,
It slowed us down.
It slowed us, quite a bit. Not only on the fact of like actually recording things, but then also other people being busy because of lockdowns and other COVID stuff, and then commitments being changed because someone else is isolated and then they have to move their schedule around. So a lot of the time it was not waiting on everyone else, but we got pretty impatient for a period of time.
I think we lost a bit of momentum. We did a lot of writing.
Yeah.
That we didn't do anything in the public eye. Like we built up some momentum from our last batch of singles, and we had a Sydney show booked, and it's been the show has been moved 5 times due to lockdown. So we still have it, but it's 3 years later. But we just stopped, and it kind of sucked when we realized we'd fallen out of the limelight a bit from what we were, and we had to be like, all right, we got to get that back because we haven't done anything. COVID bummed us out.
Oh yeah.
Phrase it like a child.
Yeah, and it's weird like trying to come up with a way to use social media to boost us up a bit, because
when you got three dudes that do not like being in the public eye on social media as well.
Yeah. It was super weird because like obviously the main go-to was like, oh, we'll do memes and comedy, but then also everyone else is doing that. So it was a little bit difficult to kind of differentiate ourselves from other local bands that were doing that as well, trying to
just realizing you're not that funny either.
Yeah, I think that's the most heartbreaking
no one
part.
heart reacts it.
Yeah, it's devastating. Like, just a normal like? No thanks. I want a love react, a care react, or a ha-ha react.
Or at least an angry react.
At least
show me that I've rustled your jimmies a little bit.
Yeah, those jimmies better be rustled.
Did it help in a weird way that you weren't alone in this situation? That everyone from the smallest, most local band in the entire world to the giants of the scene, nobody could do anything, and nobody knew quite what to do at first. The tentative steps into social media and stuff like that, and trying to push yourselves on that. It took a little while for the music industry to adjust, so you weren't alone.
No, it was interesting because you'd see people on the same fence as us being like, well, what the hell do we do? Or being like, oh, we'll just take some time to write. And other people just capitalizing on it to some degree. There were some bands in Australia that just came out of the woodworks in COVID. Like they were a COVID formed band, like a Paperweight from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Who were just blowing up in the pop punk scene. I mean, it benefited us. We had Alan Day had time from our 4 Years Strong to do producing.
Yeah.
Which we capitalized on, which was a little fangirl moment.
Yeah, it helped us out quite a bit as well. I think kind of giving us that push to be better as well. Like we have someone we look up to musically, like helping us out. It's like, all right, we got to like kick our butts into gear.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sent him the song. He came back with us and he made these changes we just did not think of doing.
Yeah.
His whole thing was like, there's no dynamics in this song. You've gone balls to the wall for 3 minutes straight, which is awesome. But I stopped listening after 2 minutes because it was just the same energy. And we're like, we didn't even think of that. We were just so in the zone of banging your head and yelling for 3 minutes.
Keep everyone moving the whole time.
So that added a new perspective on our writing.
Yeah.
Was it easy to kind of swallow that kind of advice/criticism? Because ultimately you are a band and all bands have a certain level of ego.
No.
I think you've got a certain level of ego.
No.
Nah, it's all right. No, I think we're all pretty...
It was a shock.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
His process where he'd send you the file that he tweaked with first, and he goes, sit on it. We'll do a call in like a day or two and we'll discuss it. And he actually, went through it musically. So it's not just him going, I just like it this way.
Yeah.
But the first listen through of it was like, what have you done to my baby?
Yeah.
And you sit on it and you learn to love it. I think we had a few other ones that he helped on where we didn't quite like everything he did, but there was a lot of stuff we did like. But TMS, the first one was just like, no, we backed everything he did.
Yeah.
This was amazing.
Oh, I'm glad it worked out so well. And the end result does speak for itself, I think.
Yeah. We hope so.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
So go back to the pandemic thing then. Do you think you coped as well as you possibly could? And do you feel that Grizzlyshark as a unit and as individual musicians that you are stronger for it as we stand now in 2022?
I think we handled it pretty poorly, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
We wrote songs, but we kind of got all sooky and just stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
We almost lost our drummer.
Yeah.
But COVID saved him. He was going to go to Canada for a working holiday for a year.
Oh God.
And then COVID hit. So he's got stuck here and he has to be in our band now. He's stuck here. No, I think we learned a lot about like ourselves and how we operate as a band. And it gave us some time to like actually reflect and call each other out on some like bullshit that we had like in running the band. Because it's like, well, we're not in write song, rehearse song, record song, play song mode. We actually have time to be like, you're being a pain in the butt whenever you do this and you do this frequently. And then they'll be like, well, in that case, you do this as well. As all the dirty laundry came out and we were able to address it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's very good. I think we really needed that because it was very much like we were so focused on like trying to pump out as much as we could in as little time as possible. And also like kind of letting things slide, like let them get past us. But yeah, like you said, with this time that we have, like that we had during lockdowns and COVID and stuff, it was like we could address a lot of things that needed to be addressed.
It's a constantly working relationship. You know, a band is a business as much as it is the relationship part of things as well. So I guess any like a marriage, you just got to kind of keep trucking along, sometimes row and get it out, and hopefully it all works out.
I got married during COVID, so there you go. I know a thing or two.
We capitalized on your wedding by taking a band shot all dressed up in suits and stuff and sending it out as Christmas cards.
Yeah, and it works so great. Like one of the bars, Greaser Bar in Brisbane, they've got one of our photos because we wrote just like weird
random crap on the back. Followed by Merry Christmas, love Grizzlyshark.
It's like
don't do bath salts. It's like Merry Christmas, love Grizzlyshark.
Merry Christmas, and always remember, don't punch kids from Grizzlyshark.
Decent advice. Yeah, can't argue with that. So, I mean, you've been able to clearly, as individuals, pull positives out of that period. But if you could point at one particular positive thing from the Grizzlyshark perspective, the band perspective, what might you go to?
We wrote TMS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was living with Liam, our guitarist, for 2 years of the pandemic, and just him and I sitting there and just bouncing ideas off each other. Like, because we couldn't go anywhere some weeks, was good. I think it forced us to write better because we had the time to sit down and do it. I would say that's the positive. We upped our writing game due to the extra time we had.
Yeah, it's a common theme, you know. Almost everybody we've spoken to over the past couple of years via Zoom in these COVID interview styles, time always seems to be the biggest benefit for everybody when it comes to releases. It's been a bit of a sort of shock moment, I think, because normally, obviously, cycles of releases, you kind of got time, do this by this time. So you kind of have that end goal. That didn't exist. So I'm not surprised that it helped you guys as well. You touched upon this already. I want to come back to it. So, the other elements of being in a band. It's not just about writing music and getting out there and then performing it. It's a business. You got to do lots of other things, including social media, online presence at all times. Slaves to the algorithm. So, you've implied you do not enjoy this aspect of things. But I guess more importantly than that, is it an area that you think you're getting stronger at? Or is it just something you want to avoid?
I think we're finding the correct buzzwords to hit, especially with posts.
We need to get better at TikTok, or more consistent at TikTok.
Yeah, as much as like you hate to admit, TikTok is one of the more influential platforms at the moment, and like it can be so cringe sometimes. Like I hate, like this is my biggest pet peeve with TikTok and bands on TikTok is when they're singing along to their own songs, like in the cringy like lip syncing way. And
do you not sing along to our songs?
Burns my piss.
Burns your piss.
I can't take credit for that saying. One of the girls at my work says that, but it's one of my favorite sayings. Burns my piss. That bands will do that. It's just like, Get a life. I think our way to go about it would be doing like playthroughs of our songs, like just on instruments and kind of talking about our gear and just kind of appealing to.
We do want to be singing in the shower.
Only if it's full nudity.
No. I've never been naked in my life.
We'll talk about it.
we have a list of TikTok ideas as well. We just don't do anything with it because for us it's always felt weird, and no one in our band's the dude that goes, "Oh, I'm out at a social event, something cool's happening. Do it again. I'll film it." None of us are like that. It happens. We enjoyed the moment. It's gone. No one's phone was in sight, and because of that, we suck at it. Like individually, I think we're all right at posting to our own pages with dumb crap. Like, I had some story the other day to hype the EP where, because I'm a short man, I went to the shops to buy some new shoes and the students were giving me shit and they didn't have any in the men's sizes for me. So I had to go to the kids section.
Okay.
And then at the end of this post about me being embarrassed, I was like, also pre-save the thing. And it got like a ton of interaction, but on the band page, band accounts were like, can't be too silly.
Yeah.
We can't be too serious. So what do we do?
Thanks for sticking with us through the pandemic. We really appreciate it. Like on the band page. XO.
Gossip.
Much love.
Gossip Shark.
Yeah. Gossip Shark.
It is a difficult balance to get because ultimately people do want to see your personalities. They do want to know you exist as a human being. But ultimately as well, you are people and you've got personal lives. And the moment you start putting yourself out there, there are pitfalls everywhere. So I don't have the answer. You clearly don't. I have not met anybody who does. Whatever the perfect way to do it is or how to do it, whoever comes up with that is going to, I guess, make a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, looking at algorithms, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It just never makes sense. We started posting, what was it? All the stuff for Gogglehead. And we had more interactions from old, like 40-year-old metalheads that were saying we suck than anyone we designed the ad to target. And I was like, would have thought someone in the pop punk scene would have been like, this is awesome, not some guy that clearly doesn't like it.
Oh, we got that weird message.
Weird guy just saying that we are dumbasses for writing pop punk and that we really don't read. Yeah, it was funny ads because you got in the band a social worker, so really smart dude, myself a high school English teacher, and he's like, you guys don't read, that's why you guys suck. And I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't read nonstop Shakespeare for a unit to pass my degree.
Yeah, I still reckon we should do like a Midwestern emo song where we read back his messages in the song.
Didn't you do that rehearsal once?
We did do that. Like Liam was playing like a Midwestern riff, just like randomly playing, and I was like in that whiny voice, like pop punk is a genre
void of meaning.
Yeah.
There's your TikTok videos.
Yeah. Oi.
What are you doing after this?
Something.
So guys, talking bigger picture here, one of the things we often hear when we talk to Australian bands is that while the scene over there is incredible and very, very competitive, it can often be quite difficult to break out of the country. Ultimately, the world is big. What do you guys feel you have to do to get the Grizzlyshark name spread far and wide?
I don't know. I mean,
start an OnlyFans. No.
Only bands.
Only bands. There you go.
That's how we make our millions. We start a new app.
That has to be.
But like,
you guys are filled with
ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember, growing up and you're like, Amity Affliction and Parkway, like the top of their game in Australia, and then finding out they're like mid to low tier bands overseas. Like Parkway obviously is huge now.
Yeah.
But when I was coming out of high school, it was like they will sell, you put them headliner here and they will sell out a festival in an arena with other bands, obviously. But in America, they're like the opening act on a tour for like really big bands, but you're like, weird.
Yeah. It's like seeing bands that I like, especially early 2010s, like listening to bands I thought were like a huge deal because they had reached Australia musically. And I was like, this is sick. And then when they announced the show for Australia, it's like, they're the opening support. And it's like, what?
It's like when we have Powderfinger or had Powderfinger in Brisbane, which was like the Brisbane band, like old school pub rocky band, just like that band. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, feel good pub rock.
Good pub rock. And they were the band in Australia. They are revered to this day in Australia. And and you talk to anyone overseas, they're like, I vaguely heard the name, and they're iconic here. Like your mum knows this band and listens to the band. Your baby cousin knows this band for some reason, even though they've been broken up since before they were born.
Your auntie's cousin's roommate who lived with you for a day in college.
Oddly specific. You never went to college.
That's why I said someone else's cousin went to college.
I need to learn to listen.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all right. But yeah,
I don't have an answer for that. Like Polaris is playing outside. I think it's just
Polaris are doing it well, and Alpha Wolf as well.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
I think you just need to have the right contacts, plug in the right spots. It's probably that social media side of it as well, like just being friends with everyone, so that one guy you're friends with in the States goes, oh, I like this, shares it, and then his mates share it.
Yeah.
And then that one mate of his doesn't like it, says something bad, but then his mate shares it.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer. It's probably something beyond my knowledge.
It's really who you know. Like it does help a lot.
It does, but talent helps a lot as well. And you guys are doing some awesome work. And it's just about spreading the word as much as possible. If someone's sitting here watching or listening to this interview right now, hopefully the idea is after this, they will go and put Mosaic on and then they will become a fan. That is the plan. It's the idea of doing everything. Like this is why you get stuck in these press circles talking to people like me over in the UK at midnight.
Oh, late.
Yeah, but I've been
keeping you up, man.
I was at work until like 11 o'clock, so I'm wired, man. I'll be up to like 4 or 5 in the morning, so don't worry about me.
Incredible.
Picture a scene. It's 10 years down the line, and you're super successful, more than you currently are. Everybody knows who you are. You look back on Mosaic as a turning point in your career. What would you hope its legacy would be?
The legacy.
I think I would like to think like that's how you kind of reboot yourself a little bit, because a lot of our earlier stuff was more leaning into that pop punky kind of sound and like kind of actually showing that like, you know, any band can change their sound while still having their core values.
I really hope it becomes a weird jarring note for people as we become a 4-piece orchestral jazz band by that stage. Playing the classics like The Impression That I Get by the Mighty Boston's.
Oh, we have the
trumpet still, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, no, we'll do Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America.
I don't know. I really hope that there's like that, you know, that one song that is just the one that everyone goes back to. You know, if we were a band for 10 years and we're doing really well, I want that to be the one where everyone goes, if you listen to that old stuff, that's the one.
Yeah.
Or like, I hope it's Pale Blood.
Or like we get do bigger shows and we do that encore thing where you like go off stage and then play 3 more songs, and the first song back for the encore is one of those songs that everyone's like, yeah.
I want Dave Grohl to cover Pale Blood.
Dave Grohl would be sick.
I want it to be at the point where Dave Grohl, the last song he ever records, wait, he's gonna live longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
One of the last songs.
I mean, Dave Grohl's essentially my dad, so
he is.
In
but
case
I hope that he covers
yeah.
it. That would be. I think that'd be cool for like someone big to look back at the old songs and be like, "This is the song that put Grizzlyshark on the map."
Yeah. Since we're on the topic, I did play with Foo Fighters in 2018, so there you go. Got on stage at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Yeah.
Oh, cool. You guys make so many jokes. I'm now lost about what's serious or not.
Oh, please, this one is real.
No, this one is legit.
Joke. This one is he got on stage with Dave Grohl, played Monkey Wrench, played it really well, and it was really cool.
Hold up. Here we go.
Oh, I think I've seen. I feel like this is really familiar now.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's
kind of started the trend of people starting to do, can I play Monkey Wrench? Can I play Monkey Wrench?
Oh, that's
because after that, like 1 million people did it around the world on that tour.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What an incredible.
Yes. So I did that first, and then Yayo from Texas. He's honestly a sweetheart. We message each other all the time, and he's incredible.
Have you streamed the EP yet?
I don't know yet. I need to hit him up.
You should hit him up.
Yeah, I should. But yeah, no.
Networking.
I started that, so I'm pretty big deal. Just saying.
All right, guys, got one more for you then. And it's basically a look ahead and really about your ambitions more than anything else. So right now, what does the rest of 2020 kind of look like for you, planning wise, and what you're thinking about? And what's a realistic goal you'd like to achieve in 2023?
We've got a bunch of shows coming up. So we're playing with We Set Signals on two of their shows. So Grizzy and the Gold Coast.
Amazing.
We're sorting out an EP launch. Excuse me. We're hoping to play interstate. Got a few more music videos coming out. One of which is the classic post-release, and one of which is just a project I've had for ages. Always thought it'd be cool if Jim Henson's Dark Crystals monsters were put in a horror movie instead of being like creepy looking in a family movie.
Yeah,
make it a horror movie. So I'm like, let's do that.
All right.
We've been in chats with these two bands, Clay J. Gladstone and Jurassic Park, about doing an East Coast tour. And just doing that, like the classic boys summer.
Yeah.
Boys of Summer. It's the Boys of Summer.
It has to be.
Boys of Summer tour.
That's it now.
Here it is.
And just doing that, just like doing a little East Coast run with some other absolutely amazing bands that all have that frantic, chaotic energy that we do.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, I think there's still there's a venue in Brisbane called the Fortitude Music Hall, and I would love to play there just for funsies. I think it'd be a sick show.
I don't even care if no one's there.
I didn't even care either. I just want to play there.
Yeah.
But also just doing a tour, like having fun on the East Coast. Like it's really all about just like having fun with a lot of people and sharing as much as you can.
There's something weirdly enjoyable about being stuck in a van with everyone and not being able to move.
Yeah.
And then sleeping in a tiny room with everyone.
Like we shared a bed once.
Numerous times.
It was intimate.
I always draw
I
the
loved
short
it.
straw on that. There's always like, you get a room for 5 and there's the one double bed. And it's like, who's partnering up with Andrew because Andrew doesn't mind sharing a bed.
At least it's a double bed. If it's a single bed, bit of a problem.
Yeah. Not much room to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But yeah, tour. And playing a cool venue. Getting a support slot for a touring band would be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
Like even like just the usual local support, which isn't happening much at the moment, but we'll bring it back. We'll be the local support for every other band.
So basically, first things first, conquer Australia, and then the world afterwards, right?
Yeah.
No plan.
We'll hire the emus.
Antarctica's next.
Antarctica is next.
The penguins.
We'll see how New Zealand goes.
You join that short list of bands that have played it. So yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?